Yo, what's good, focus? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Terrence Bain here. Let me chill real quick. Let y'all come up in the building. It is Sunday, September 12th, 2021. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my little rucking live out here in sunny Southern California. You know what I'm saying? Got blue skies, no trails, no overcast. You know, so it feels good to be sun-kissed while I'm doing my rucking. You know what I mean? What's good, y'all? Nikki Justice on the run. What's good? Good afternoon. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. If you guys haven't hit that like button, make sure you do so when you get in here. Y'all know me. I got my 70 pounds on, 70-pound pack. You know what I mean? Getting it in. Feeling good. How y'all doing this morning? We're going to get into oh, shit. Rolled my ankle. That's why it's important to stretch. It's important to stretch and do yoga, y'all, because, you know, most people roll their ankle like that, they be out of commission. You know what I'm saying? Shot Killings, Biz 40504 was good. Yeah, 70 pounds. Local one was good. How you doing, brother? Yeah, we got some stuff to get into, man. And I'm going to be on here for about two and a half hours, depending on how many laps I can do. We'll see. It's kind of sunny outside. You know what I mean? It's been a while since it's been this warm. So we'll see how far I go. Actually, last week, it was about this warm. And I did my full 3 laps, 4 miles. You know what I'm saying? Over 1,000 calories burned. So maybe I'll get it cracking again today. I thought about you earlier. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Shot Killings, what you think about? But how you said you'd stab. I never said I'd stab Mighty. What, me? I never said I'd stab Mighty Mouse. Man, what you talking about, brother? What I said was, if he attacked me and tried to do some ground shit, I would have no choice but to use a pointy weapon because I'm not a wrestler. And, you know, in the streets, somebody try to get you in some submissions, they might try to break your arm, choke you to death. I ain't got time for that. I never said I'd just stab Mighty Mouse. What's up, Daniel Lopez? Yeah, man. So I'm doing an open panel. Yeah, getting them legs. This is my leg day, y'all. This is my leg day. Now, I don't only do one leg day. On my leg days, I don't really like to, I don't do squats and shit. You know what I mean? But what I do during my boxing training and my Muay Thai training, I do a lot of explosive movements because, you know, it's good to be explosive, you know, in fight training. But, yeah, this is definitely my leg day as far as building strength. Although, you know, you need that progressive overload. So that's why I said next week, either what I'll do next week is I'll add 10 pounds to the pack or I'll do an extra lap. So that'll add, you know, that'll be my progressive overload. You know, it's about time. I've been doing 70 pounds for about a year. You know what I mean? So yeah, if he fights me, if he fights me and doesn't try to take it to the ground, yeah, I probably won't use a knife. But this is for anybody that attacks me, you know what I'm saying? And they try to take me to the ground and do some jujitsu shit or some wrestling shit. I'm automatically going to think, because we're in the streets, that they're going to do their best to harm me or even kill me. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. So yeah, I'm going to be willing and ready to bite, stab, grab balls, gouge eyes, whatever I got to do. I mean, they got to be hella quick with their fucking takedown and submission. And I'm pretty good for someone who doesn't have much ground game. I'm pretty good at takedown defense. I have a hell of a sprawl. I have had wrestlers try to take me down real fast, and I've given them a very hard time. So, but just know, if we in the street, you try to do that shit, it ain't gonna be fair. TDOA, the elephant in the room. What happened yesterday with the Mighty Mouse on gimmicks? She be disappointed in gimmicks, or let it be. Well, everybody's their own person. I can't really say what real life no gimmicks should have done in that situation. What I will say is that, if you looked at who was there, there was kids there, wives, the person that lived there, their parents were there. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it looked like a setup, right? To me, it looked like a setup, and not the type of setup where, a bunch of people ambush you when you get there or jump you. To me, it looked like a setup to where, if real life no gimmicks, if Aaron would have went in there with a different intent other than to put on some gloves, then the police would have been called. All right, y'all have to understand what Mouse is doing. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty smart. He's calling these people out. He's telling people to go to his location, right, and put on the gloves. Now, he did do some stupid shit and say, "Oh, bring your guns. We got guns." And this, he did do that bullshit. But understand, you'll go to jail if you don't go up there and do anything but throw the gloves on with Mighty Mouse. So if you look at it this way, he wins either way. Because if you put on the gloves and he beats you with the gloves, then he can brag about it, he can clown you about it or whatever. But if you go up there and try to pull some shit, then the police will be called, and he'll say that you called the police, right? He'll say, "Oh, they called the police on us, blah, blah, blah," whatever. Or somebody there called the police. Because understand, Mighty Mouse is not in places where he has control of the venue, right? Those aren't his venues. He's using the venues, and it's his platform putting the venue on the map. But he could always say, "It wasn't me who called the police. It was the owner of the club, or it was the owner of the house." See, he won't be responsible for anything. So he can call the police on you, or have people call the police on you, and still come out smelling like roses, because now you're in jail because you tried to come and attack him. You know what I'm saying? So Aaron, if he went up there with a bunch of dudes, it probably wouldn't have been good for his homies and himself. The police would have been called immediately. Let me tell y'all that right now. The police would have been called immediately. Mighty Mouse knew what he was doing. See, y'all think Mighty Mouse is stupid. He's not. Mighty Mouse is very smart. Trust me on that. He knows how to play games. And that's what you have to understand about sexual predators, right? That he's a sexual predator that is a known sexual predator, but has convinced people that he's a good guy. Imagine how smart you have to be, how cunning you have to be to convince people of that. Very, very sharp. Logan would I say let it be. Of course, the people that don't want to get gangster are going to try and push someone for like fuck them. So that's what I would say to Aaron. Like, Aaron, people gonna clown you now because you did say you were gonna show up, you're gonna shut it down, blah blah blah. You gotta eat that. You said you're gonna shut it down. It didn't get shut down. You gotta eat that. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, he's not good in California or in LA, which he's not because, he can try to come out here. What's up? I can guarantee if he comes to LA, it's not going to be at a park. It's not going to be somewhere where anybody from the public can show up, right? It's not going to be a public venue. It's not going to be a park. It's not going to be somewhere where it's going to be a private place where if you show up on some rah-rah shit, you're probably going to go to jail or something like that. You're probably going to go to jail or you're going to get ambushed, whatever the case may be. He's going to escape. He's going to have plausible deniability because you're the one saying, oh, I'm going to come get you. I'm going to come shut you down. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Daniel Lopez says, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I wasn't thinking that way, but yeah, you're right. There was a small gathering and it would have kind of been weird if he show up. I guess Aaron and homies. Oh, they definitely would have went to jail. They definitely would have went to jail. Cash was right there. Let me tell y'all something. Cash and that stupid woman that he's with, his enabler, whatever her name is, like they were there for a reason. You see what I'm saying? And that's what he's going to do when he goes to, let's say, he comes to LA. He's going to bring Cash. He's going to bring whatever her name is, enabler. That's what I'm going to call it, enabler. He's going to bring enabler. His prison guard that had with the Stockholm syndrome that fell in love with this idiot. He's going to bring them around. They're going to be around, and I would have to, if I wanted to crash his venue, I would have to have people, cold motherfuckers, like cold people that he don't want to show up. And I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that with Cash around, right? See, it's not what if I don't even want to say it like that, but if something happens to Mouse, it's not going to be at one of his fight events. It's not going to be there. It's going to be when he's leaving somewhere, when his guard is down, when he's super drunk, and he's out in the world, in the public. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to appear random. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be bad. It's not going to be at a venue where he has people that can call the police. Big and bad and tough as he was, prisoner, ex-prisoner, he doesn't want people to show up. He doesn't want to get gunned down. He knows it could happen. You feel me? So, and the people that are coming at him aren't gangster. Not like that. You can say It's Milk, it's gangster or whatever, but, he's not really active, I guess. But people like me, I'm not a gangster. I could push a button if I wanted to, if he showed up in LA. But the question is, would I want to? Would I want to show up at his event? Now, there are ways to get his event shut down. Like a protest. Like people showing up, passing out information, things like that. Not on some violent shit. It would have to be on some aggressive shit, but not violent. The best way to do it is to get mothers out there. Have mothers that have children show up to the venue and express how, they think that he, doesn't need this type of limelight, that he's out here lying about his charges. That's the type of shit you need. you know. But yeah, I will say it probably wasn't a good idea to talk about how you were going to show up to shut down Mouse's event and then don't show up. See, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say if he comes to LA, tries to throw events, it probably wouldn't be a good idea. Sting says Brother Holite, aka Brother Polite, plus all his mindless followers were all full of shit. No different from Bishop Eddie Long and the clueless followers who still worship him to death. I agree. And that's the big thing. These predators, people like that, they don't have the power without the people, right? What's up, Marcy T? But, yeah, and that's another thing. Brother Holite, Brother Polite. So as far as Mighty Mouse thing goes, listen, I'm going to say this myself. Like I said many times before. Go ahead, Mighty Mouse, and say, let's say you come to LA and you say, well, Tyrant, I'm in your town. I'm going to be at this address. Show up to put the gloves on or shut up. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to show up to put gloves on and fight you. It's not going to happen. You don't deserve that from somebody like me. You see, I'm a real man. And a real man like me, I'm not going to show up and give you a square one. You're not going to get a fair one from me. So stop acting like that's a noble thing. You know, it's not going to happen like that. You don't deserve that. You destroy children's lives. You are a predator. Predators, you don't go square up with a predator. You lay traps for them. All right? You get them when they least expect it. That's how you do that. So I'm not going to show up to your venue to put gloves on. But come on to LA. And we'll see what can happen. That's all I'm going to say. Shot Killing says, don't Mighty Mouse have a Hispanic accent? No. Sound like a white boy from Virginia who tries to sound black sometime around his black cronies. Like Prince. My shoulder hurt. I can't fight today. My shoulder hurt. But I'm a tough guy and I'll fight anybody. These guys are full of shit. They're full of shit. Local one says, no, you're not getting a fair one from me. Local one says, and it hasn't just been gimmicks that said he show up and show out. There's been a couple of others that got real quiet when he was in LA. Well, I mean, VA. That's what it is. You know? Again, it makes him look better. It makes those people look bad. But like I said, someone with half a brain isn't going to show up to a venue to cause any trouble. No. It's not smart at all. Now, whether they have the ability to cause trouble, that's another story. But whether you do or you don't, it's not a good idea. Like, I wouldn't do that. I'm not going to show up with gang members after I done said on YouTube, I'm going to show up with gang members. I'm not going to do that. That's crazy. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to say is there are a lot of people in LA that knows who Mouse is, They were fooled by him because they thought he was cool. He might have a little safe haven in Orange County with the so-called Serenos. I don't know, at that gym he's talking about all the time. What's the name of that gym in Orange County he be talking about? I want to give them a call. But we'll see. If he comes to LA, there are a lot of people in LA. They ain't rocking with that, but they're not going to show up to his venue where there's a time and a date that he sets. It's not going to happen like that. That's not how it's going to happen. If he pays his karma for what he did to that little girl, and God knows who else he might have done that to, it's not going to be in that form. It's going to be in the form of that he least expects. He ain't going to see it coming. He's basically going to have eyes in the back of his head. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to have eyes in the back of his head 24/7. That's it. It's not going to be at a venue where he's expecting it, where he had 911 on speed dial. Yeah. Shot Killing says, I like how you set a trap for predator. Yeah. You don't square up with predators, period. So I'm putting that out there because regardless of how many times people say they're not giving a fair one to a child molester, he still says that shit. Oh, if you don't come fight me, you ain't a man. Well, I'll tell you what, Mouse, you're not a man right now. You haven't been a man since you started touching on little girls, period. So I don't give a fuck what you say. And if you see me in the street, you attack me, just know, I'm going to think you're trying to take my life. I'm going to fear for my life. And so I'm going to act accordingly. So that's the bottom line to that. Logan said, you are one of the few on YouTube that speaks real and upfront. Never a tough guy act with you, and I respect the hell out of that. Yeah, man. I'm not a tough guy. I'm tough, but I'm not a tough guy like that, I'm just, I protect children, man. I believe in protecting children, and this guy is a predator of children. My question is this. Mouse, you want a fair one, right? Mouse wants a fair one. But let me ask you, did you give that little girl a fair one? Did you give her a fair one? When you did what you did to her? When you took her to that hotel room and had your way with her? When you were 29, 28, and she was 14? Did you give her a fair one? Then fuck off with your fair one. You're not going to get it. Fuck boy. You're not getting a fair one. Point blank in the period. Point blank in the period. You're not going to see it coming. And I'm not talking about for me. I'm talking about for people who, love children and want to protect children and look out for children and have children. You're not going to get a fair one from those type of people. Only these clowns who want to lick your balls when they see you are going to do that. Period. So that's it for that one. But look, this is the thing. We all have to take accountability for our actions. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And Mouse, your reaction is not equal. What has happened to you in your life after you did that to that little girl, and God knows who else you victimized, that reaction hasn't come to you yet. You feel me? You're not done yet. Morning. You'll pay. You haven't paid for it yet. You want to say you went to prison. Yeah. For 8 years. Could give a shit. That is not payment for what you did to that little girl. You will suffer greatly, or after death, or both. Definitely after death. He ain't paid for it. Yeah. Bottom line. So I want to get in this Sinetta thing. I want to get into this Sinetta thing. Many of you guys might not know who Sinetta is, but I have to talk about this because it's very important. It's very important to be objective when it comes to certain things. With me, you know, I try to stay objective. I use logic and reasoning when I approach certain situations. And that's just how I roll. All right. Now, if y'all familiar with Brother Polite, he is an alleged, right? It is alleged that he did the same thing to a 14-year-old girl that Minor Mouse did. All right. Did the same thing, allegedly. He took a 14-year-old girl, the daughter of a woman he was dating, just like Minor Mouse, just like, now see the parallels. Took a 14-year-old girl, the daughter of a girl he was dating, to a hotel. First, he took her to a party, allegedly. Took her to a party, then took her to a hotel afterward, and had his way with her, allegedly. All right? This is alleged. But even though these are just allegations, there is some level of DNA evidence, right? Just got to put my gloves on. DNA that belongs to Brother Polite that has been, oh shit. Sorry. DNA found on a girl, on articles of her clothing and whatever. There's DNA evidence, DNA on her person and her clothing that belong to Brother Polite. So, I mean, that's pretty damning. Hold on, y'all. Shit. So, sorry about this, y'all. Thanks, Bush baby. So look, Brother Polite did the same thing, allegedly, that Minor Mouse did. And I don't know how old Brother Polite was at the time. This was this year, actually, y'all. This happened in February. So he's well in his 30s, maybe even 40s. Took a 14-year-old girl to a hotel room after an after party, allegedly, where the mother supposedly even showed up and tried to get her baby. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know. That's, to me, that's I haven't seen any proof of that. But did the same thing, allegedly, that Minor Mouse definitely did to a 14-year-old girl. And there's a individual Sinetter who has a platform on YouTube, real big platform, although I don't know how big because he doesn't show his sub count. But he's well known in the Black conscious community. All right. Now, he's had Brother Polite on his platform numerous times. Like, it's even thought that Brother Polite might have helped Sinetter blow up. You feel me? Like, he just helped him get big. Vice versa. They got each other big. But anyway, A few years ago, Sarnetta accused Brother Polite of running off with another teenage girl, a daughter of another girl he was dating, that happened to be Sarnetta's wife's cousin or something like that. So he accused him of running off with the teenage girl to LA and doing whatever sexual deviancy things. And because he was pissed at Polite because they was beefing. All right. Now, not too long after that, they got cool again. All right. You know, he gave Brother Polite an award, all this other shit. Now, I'm just breaking down the story again because there are some people in here who might not know what the hell I'm talking about. You know, they might not know who Sarnetta is. So bear with me. So yeah. So they cool again. And then this happens. So people call him out like, yo, Sa, why haven't you said anything about this Brother Polite shit yet? Sarnetta is not talking about it. He's like, man, he's basically staying out of it. Right? But eventually he has to come out and speak on it. And he said he's not going to condemn the brother before there's a conviction, because the last time he did it, you know, he got shadowed on by the people. Now, he said, yo, I got that information from a police report and the charges were dropped. So I look stupid. But you didn't say you got that information from a police report when you brought it up. You said you got that from his wife's cousin. You never mentioned a police report. Anyway, so Queen Strong, I don't know if y'all familiar with her, she got on his ass. You know, she got on him for basically what she felt was protecting Brother Polite, you know, and not going in on him. So they had this whole back and forth. Whew. They had this whole back and forth. And then last night, Sarnetta did a live stream where he's talking about, it was like a clickbait live stream. Basically saying Queen's throne is having sex with the devil or some shit like that. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Some crazy clickbaity shit. So I watched the live stream and yeah, I'll say this right off the bat. You brought some receipts. Sarnetta brought some receipts, right? Sarnetta brought some receipts in regards to Uncle Suge being a predator. And, you know, he brought a young lady up, a woman named Nicole, or she goes by Misunderstood. She gave her testimony, showed some text messages, showed some receipts. You know what I'm saying? Where on first glance it looked legitimate. All right. So yeah. Now, I'm not a supporter of Uncle Suge. Like, I don't even like his approach. I don't like his style. Like, I never did like him. I saw him on Queen Strong's panels a few times. And the way he, like, people are talking to him about something, and when he disagrees, he goes off into some personal ad hominem attack bullshit that is just, it's just real stupid. So I never really liked the dude. But I believe Misunderstood in regards to what she said about Uncle Suge. You know, I don't put it past it. But here's the thing. What I was waiting on were receipts that showed Queen Strong was culpable or complicit or even implicit and Uncle Suge's actions toward Misunderstood and Misunderstood's daughter. Now, Misunderstood's daughter is 13 years old, and this man, Uncle Suge, according to the young lady, because they interviewed Uncle Sarnetta's, whatever you want to call her, his one of his wives, so he says, Napa, interviewed the daughter, and listen, she's 15 years old now. She was 13 at the time. I have no reason to believe that this young girl is lying. I want to believe her, in lieu of any factual evidence, because they were sending messages back and forth. I guess he was messaging the young girl without the mother's knowledge. Okay, offering her money, buying her clothes, and that's just creepy behavior. Like, you don't do that. That's not your daughter. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that type of relationship. And you and the mother were done. You guys were separated. I mean, you guys weren't together anymore. So why are you still in communication with a daughter? That's creepy, groomy behavior. All right. So I will say that I believe. I believe it. Now I can't say for a fact that it happened. Like I said, the little girl said the text messages are not available anymore. They're gone. So I'm just like, man, I can't just look at this little girl. I didn't see her, but listen to this little girl. She I believe her. It don't look like it was staged. It didn't seem like she was coerced into saying the things she was saying. But I will say, when you're interviewing somebody, you don't want to lead them. You understand what I'm saying? What I mean by lead them. You don't want to be like, well, didn't this happen? And this, that, and the third, and get like by specific events, because it's going to sound like you're, it's going to sound like you're giving her information to confirm, as opposed to letting her just say what she got to say. But outside of that, I believe it. It is underage Fondlers League. But I didn't think that title would make it on the YouTube algorithm. So listen. I don't see any evidence that Queen's Throne, y'all didn't present anything that showed that Queen's Throne had any knowledge that Uncle Suge was doing that to Misunderstood. Like, there was nothing for me that indicated that, oh yeah, Queen's Throne, yeah, she definitely knew. She supported that behavior, because what I know of Queen's Throne, if she rock with you, she can rock with you till the wheel fall off. If she finds out that you're a predator, she's on your ass. She don't give a shit who you are. I've seen her do it multiple times. I don't see why she would give Uncle Suge a pass. Hold on. I don't see why she would give this Uncle Suge person, I don't see why she would give him a pass if she knew that level of detail about what happened. I don't think, it's not like, I don't believe that Uncle Suge's calling the Queen's Throne saying, yeah, so today I bought this little girl some clothes so she could take pictures for me in them. Yeah, and I've been messaging her back and forth without her mother's. I don't think Queen's Throne doesn't have that. So Sonetta, it just, you look crazy, man. Like, I do appreciate you giving this woman a platform, giving Misunderstood a platform. She is a survivor of Uncle Suge's manipulations. There's a lot of crazy shit that happened, man. Like, she's a drug addict, right? She's a recovering drug addict, and Uncle Suge knew this, and he took advantage, right? So it seems like he preys on broken women to get what he wants out of them, right? She's a broken woman on drugs, you know what I'm saying? And she happened to have a lot of money. I don't know how. That's just crazy to me. She apparently she's loaded and was about to spend $35,000 on rehab. This guy convinced her to not go to rehab and let him treat her illness, right? He convinced her to let him treat her addiction so that he can get that money. That shit is wild, man. Like, she had $35,000 to spend on herself to get better. And he was like, nah, fuck that. I can get you better, blah, blah, blah. But according to her, what he ends up doing is and trying to encourage her to commit suicide, encourage her to take drugs, possibly lacing her marijuana with heroin, like all kind of crazy shit. This dude is a piece of shit, if it's true, right? And I've seen some text messages that he sent that kind of proves he's a piece of shit, because she has a life insurance policy, and she's talking about how she's on the edge and she's spiraling and might not live for long. And he's like, well, who's your beneficiary on your life insurance? Like, what? It's just crazy. And then he gets mad when he's not the beneficiary. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit is crazy, man. Shit is crazy. You take advantage of a broke woman like that. You can say all day, yeah, she's responsible for her part in this. But, if she's broken and vulnerable and you know it, you're ultimately responsible because you decided to prey on that woman. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And then it seems like you're trying to groom her daughter. You know what I'm saying? Which is the ultimate fucking, look, a predator is a predator, y'all. If a dude will prey on a woman or a woman will prey on somebody, don't put nothing past them. Don't put it past them to try to want to prey on children, all right? Because women prey on children too, right? Predators are predators. Don't put it past them to eat the young. You feel me? Don't put it past them to eat the young, because that's what predators do. They'll eat the weak. They'll eat the weak cattle. They'll eat the weak sheep. They'll eat the weak gazelle. And they'll also eat the baby. You feel me? They'll eat the eggs. You know what I'm saying? Predator's a predator. So if someone has predatory behavior towards another human being, there's no limit to what they might do. You feel me? No limit. Now, if you prey on the system, that's a different thing. That's a noble thing. If you prey on the government, more power to you. I like that. DJ, it's Christopher Alexander was good. But these hypocrites happen to be the biggest predators of all. Always preying on children and others. It's like their anti-gay rhetoric is a smokescreen, no doubt. Out there getting it in again, yep. Oh, the weirdos are definitely coming out of the woodworks, my friend. So, I don't know if Sonetta will ever see this, but let me tell you, man, you didn't prove anything about Queen's Throne. Like, you made these allegations about her sleeping with eight dudes and having sex with 8 dudes and being on cocaine. Like, what? Yeah. But as far as you trying to throw her in this shit with Uncle Suge, I don't see where, like, you haven't proved that. You feel me? You ain't proved that. You didn't prove that Queen Throne was complicit or implicit with Uncle Suge's predatory behavior. Now, as far as Clyde Diva is concerned, the Clyde Diva situation, she went in on Clyde Diva. Her and Clyde Diva were enemies. Clyde Diva went in on her. They both threw shots and darts at each other. And Uncle Suge happened to be somebody that also wasn't cool with Clyde Diva. And so, yeah, they might have partnered up for that. But I don't know. I'm not sure if I would call what he did with Clyde Diva predatory, because, she went out to see him. I wouldn't say that she was a broken woman or vulnerable. I would say she wanted some dick, and she went out there. She was willing to trick on it and all that other shit, and she was a trick. You feel me? Like, she wanted to pay for the dick. Hey, that happens. Women do that sometimes. You feel me? I've had that happen for me. Like I've had back in my 20s, I've had older women, you know, I was digging them down and getting gifts from them and shit like that. But I didn't treat them any old kind of way. I didn't treat them like shit. Now, after y'all start beefing, it's not cool to like put people's pictures, new pictures and shit like that. Yeah, they were stupid enough to give you the nudes, right? Yeah, they were stupid enough to give you the nudes. That doesn't give you the right to put the pictures out there, right? Now understand, if you send news to somebody that you barely know, then understand that there's a possibility that those news are going to get out if y'all start beefing. But that doesn't give the person that put the news out the right to put the news out. You feel me? It doesn't give them that right. So, that's bullshit. Baby Yoda, what's up? There's so many predators in the YouTube community, and I guarantee there's one on the lowdown. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, but eventually they expose themselves. Eventually they expose themselves sooner or later, because what's done in the dark comes to the light. And if you put yourself out there, right? If you put yourself out there as a YouTube content creator or something like that, or public figure, this shit's going to come out. It has to. You feel me? Because there's too many eyes on you. There's too many people that want to see what dirt they can dig up on you. So it's a good idea if you got dirt and you out here, you out here public figuring, shit. Put your own shit out there as soon as you come out. Yo, I'm this person, that person. This is what I've done in my life. This is what I got caught up with. This is what happened. Boom. Post the charges. Post whatever embarrassing thing you have to put out there. Get ahead of it. Don't be surprised when people come out and put your shit on blast, and now you look crazy because it's looking like you hiding shit. No. If I had some devastating shit that I've done in my past that there are definitely receipts for, and that I feel, I'm coming out as a public figure. I'm coming out as a YouTube content creator. This shit's probably going to come out. I'm going to put it out my damn self. Now, it just so happens, I ain't got nothing like that on me. I don't have a criminal record. I've never been a predator. So I don't have people that can come out and say I did this, that, and the third. It just so happens. Not saying that I'm this squeaky clean do-gooder, right? I've done some dirt in my past. I just never got caught for it, right? And I'm talking about the type of dirt that, cats get caught for and go to prison for that don't involve sexual deviancy. I've never done anything like that. But I've done other shit. I've done some dirt in my past. I've done some dirt. Just never got caught. Never got caught. And I would never talk about it on the YouTubes. Hell, many people in my life have no idea of the shit that I've done. They just see me as this guy, oh, he went to the army, blah, blah, blah. He's a, veteran, and and honestly, I prefer to keep it that way. Marcy T was good. Yeah, they already think we cray. He's there. So I come, listen, I'm an open book, y'all. But like I said, I'm not going to talk about some of the dirt I did. Even though there's a statute of limitations, I've done some shit where the statute of limitations is way up. Because it's not something devastating that I've done. I've never been a sexual predator. You know what I'm saying? I've been a sexual sexual butterfly. You know what I'm saying? Like with willing and with participants on a consensual level. You know what I'm saying? I've been with a lot of women in my day, especially in my 20s. Oh man, I went crazy. When I was in the army, I went ham. Like I was, oh, I don't know, man. I probably banged half the good looking women in Kansas. A lot of chicks in. Listen, man, I've done it. I've done a lot of shit, but it's always been consensual. It's always been, and hell, 7, 8 times out of 10, it was initiated by the woman. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just is what it is. Like I had women approaching me. I had women, you know, offering it up to me. I've had women getting it cracking with me. You know what I'm saying? Making the first move and making it known that that's what they wanted, and that's what they got. You know, I've always, you know what I'm saying? Women have always initiated most of the time when they wanted it cracking. You know, I just had that way about me. You feel me? I guess it's the pheromones. I got these potent pheromones that women just be like, okay, I want to see what he got. So, you know, you can say it's a blessing. You can say it's a blessing. It's a curse because I caught STDs 3 different times, and I had to slow my ass down, and you know, I had to be celibate for 3 years because I was like, man, next time it might be something a little more permanent. It might be something a little bit more permanent than gonorrhea, chlamydia, and crabs. So, you know, I had to pull back on the reins a little bit. But outside of that, you know, no predatory behavior for me. Sting says time to bang TDOA. I think all of us have some dirt, but picking up defenseless children, abusing children, it's just one of the sins. Yeah, there's no repentance for that. There's no rehabilitation for that. In my mind, if you've done that, there's no redeeming. There's no redemption for me. And that's how we should carry it, man, in society. But because of the system we live under, where half the government officials, you know, you got all these, listen, they're in government. These deviants, they're in government. That's why there's such non-harsh sentences for a lot of these sex crimes. You know, somebody could molest a child and get 6 months probation. Hold on. Like that guy, I keep forgetting his name. Little bitch ass swimmer. That swimmer college boy who raped that 6-year-old girl by the dumpster. The judge didn't want to ruin his life. Never mind the fact that he ruined this little girl's life. The judge didn't want to ruin his life. So he gave him 6 months probation, man. 6 months probation. So this motherfucker can keep swimming. That should not be. The minimum sentence for raping a 6-year-old girl should be death. Summary execution. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Summary execution. Point blank and period. Once you find out that he definitely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, committed that act, there should be curtains. There should be, that's it. It's a wrap. You're dead. Hell, why not suffer a little bit? Why not suffer for a couple days? That shit's crazy to me. Yeah, the criminal justice system is full of What? It's full of predators too. Yep. So it's not, yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, Suge looks guilty to me. But Queen's Throne, I don't see how she could be blamed for any of this or, be held responsible. You know, you haven't proven that she knew about it. Dark Nebula, 6-year-old kid, what the fuck? No, it was someone his age, it was 6-year-old black girl. 6-year-old black girl. No. Unless I'm thinking about it, unless I'm thinking about the wrong case. I'm pretty sure it was a 6-year-old black girl. Oh, speaking of narcissism, Christopher, I have to question why Sonetta is doing this. Because, you might want to think, oh, that's noble of him to put this woman's story on display. But why not do it before you had beef with Uncle Suge and Queen's Throne? Like, why not? You know what I mean? And he kept coming back to Queen's Throne doing this and that to him. To me, and this is my thought, I don't think he did it for altruistic, genuine reasons. I think he did it because he wanted to get back at Queen's Throne for going at him. I don't think he genuinely. Now, this is my opinion. This is my opinion. I don't think Sonetta genuinely cared about that girl's story. Now, Pop might have, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think Sonetta did. I think he used it as a tool on his little chessboard, as a little, you know what I mean? A move on his chessboard. Because that's what he does. He is someone who keeps shit in the tuck and uses it when it suits him. Now, I don't know how long he knew about Misunderstood Story. I can't even, you know what I mean? I don't know how long he knew about it. But I don't know, man. Because at the end of the day, he's like, oh, don't talk about me. Don't talk to me about Polite, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, it's still like, you're doing this to defend Brother Polite, to use as a shield for Brother Polite. That's what it sounds like to me. You know, that's why I think you're doing this. I don't think you're doing it because you necessarily care about this woman's story. I think it's a way to be like, see, Uncle Suge, he's a predator too, so don't talk to me about Polite. Well, why can't we talk to you about both? Why can't we address both situations? You don't want to hear about a Polite. But guess what? The motherfucker is caught up in some shit. And there ain't no running from that. Guess what? There's DNA evidence. You can say whatever you want about transferring DNA from a kiss from the mother and all and the shit. No. Not for you. That's not enough for a fucking arrest warrant. Okay? It's not enough for an arrest warrant. So we'll see what happens. But to say, oh, don't talk to me about Polite. You see Queen's Throne, the Queen's bitch, all this other shit. Like, that's just what it was to me. It's like, okay, this is for you, Sonetta. This is not for Misunderstood. This is for you. This is for you. This is your aha moment. This is your I got you moment. This is your hit me and I hit you back moment. Like, this is not really, you know what I mean? You're not sincere in my mind. That's just what it is. Dark Nebula says money can literally get you anything. Sting says Sonetta full of it. That's what I think. I don't sense he really cares either. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I don't think he cares. Like, listening to that story, objectively, from Misunderstood, I really felt for her. Like, it was like, okay, this dude is a creep, and especially the shit with with her daughter. Like, that shit pisses me the fuck off. It was bad enough what he did to her, but what he tried to do with her daughter, it looked like he tried to do with her daughter, groom her and shit. I hate that shit. I hate that shit. If you can't get a woman your own age, or if you're not attracted to a woman your own age, I don't know what to tell you, man. Bang yourself. Take yourself out. And you know what? I'd rather you kill yourself than to victimize a child in that way. Just kill yourself. If you have this unquenchable urge to molest children, just kill yourself. That's all you got to do. Don't victimize that child. Just kill yourself. I'm serious. I think you should kill yourself. Damn. Exactly how I feel TDOA he's doing to defend Michael Nowak. AKA, yeah, that's what I think. So let's say these charges get dropped, or Brother Polite is found acquitted. He can always accept Brother Polite back with open arms, even though he said Brother Polite will never be on his platform ever again. We'll see how that goes. We'll see. We'll see if that'll hold weight.
You're more focused on this, on the
Yeah, do everyone a favor. If you listen, if you are struggling with pedophile addiction, if you're a pedophile and you want to act on those urges, listen. All right, look, this is what you can do. Go to a psychiatrist, right? Try to do that. Although you cannot rehabilitate a child molester, especially once he acts on it, go ahead and try to go to a psychiatrist and deal with it. But if that doesn't work, after, let's say, a year, then take yourself out. That's all I can say about it. I'm sorry. You know, those YouTubers censoring comments that talk about white privilege. No, I didn't see anything about that. Take yourself out. We don't need you. Hold on. Shit. So the Habakai says rioting and fighting your friends over vaccine passports. Yeah, shit's crazy. We'll see how it gets here. I mean, this shit is wild, yo. You would think we'd be allowed to choose. Hold on, y'all. You'd think we'd be allowed to choose whatever treatments we would like to have for ourselves, right? Because before Modelo 19, we could do that. Before Modelo 19 came about, we were capable of choosing what treatment we wanted to get. You know. Now, if you were, it was different if you were like in a medical field. You know, it could be argued that you want to be protected against certain diseases because you're in a hospital. But outside of that, like, no, for what? 902 repping. Bush Baby says, the scary part to me is who else knew about Parlay's actions. Whew. Well, I'll tell you, man. Hold on. I'll tell you. Predators, you know, with that type of notoriety, like, say, R. Kelly, you know, he had people enabling him. You know, sometimes you have people that would bring the victims to you, recruit people to put in your stable or whatever. So, someone like Brother Polite. Now, from what I understand, his first wife, you know, he and his first wife met the second wife when she was 16 years old. You know, so who knows what he did to convince her. Hold on. Oh, but I gotta throw up. That's how you know you're going hard. And I haven't felt that in a while, so. Bear with me, y'all. March 77 was good. Yeah, I'm getting it in. Almost got to throw up. Oh, but it just came out the other side. I just pooed it, y'all. Sometimes that's how it is. Get my rest on real quick. Usually with high-profile predators, they got people around them that enable the behavior, participate. You know, they recruit victims, all that type of shit. Don't crunch the stomach. I'm not. I'm just getting some rest. Oh, I will. I'm gonna drink some water. Got some electrolytes in here. Mm. 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 Woo. Let's see. What? You said. Drink some raw eggs. Shit, I think that'll make me actually throw up. I eat a lot of fruit. I eat a lot of vegetables and fruit. It's one of those days, man. Like I had I make my own protein bars. I had protein bars before I did this, and I probably ate it a little too soon before I did this. Usually, you want to give it like an hour and a half for it to get out of your stomach. So, what do y'all think, man? Anybody want to come up Anybody want to come up and talk? Anybody want to come up and get on the panel? Let me do something here. Hold on. Oh yeah, I make it. I make my protein shakes, protein bars. They're good too. Like I said, I just had it too soon before. Anybody want to come up? Yeah, there's a link. This thing says not yet, maybe one day, sooner or later, in the near future. That's what's up. No pressure, y'all. We can talk about whatever. Y'all can get some off your chest. It's all good. It's all good. Oh man, y'all know what's funny? I was able to watch some of the Clown Shoe Lucas's live yesterday and discovered he's not even vaccinated. He's not even hokey pokey. This guy running around shitting on people who don't want to get hokey pokey. And he's not hokey pokey to his damn self. What's up, Mars 77? He is, here we got the idiot Lucas condoning and agreeing with hokey pokey mandates, but he doesn't want to get the hokey pokey himself. And guess what his reason is? Because he doesn't like people telling him what to do, and it's not convenient. Oh yeah, that's a much better reason than people who don't want to get it because they don't feel it's safe. What a fucking hypocrite. All right, hold on, guys. 902 repping. Come on up.
Hello there.
902 repping was good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Perfectly clear. Yes. You're feeling better?
Yeah, you good, man?
You're hydrated?
Oh yeah, I'm hydrated, bro.
Right on.
It's really more so something sitting on my stomach. You know, the protein
Right.
shake.
Right. How high up is that mountain?
Not too high. It's like, you know, the LA basin is like right there. Right? So the LA basin is below sea level. I think it's only a couple hundred feet.
Right. But at an incline, it's much more intense than flat cardio.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, with 70 pounds of weight, absolutely.
Oh, you're carrying weight.
Oh yeah, in my
That's
pack.
why you're sweating so much.
Oh yeah.
You have like double resistance.
Yeah, I got 70 pounds going on.
The 70 pounds. Jesus.
Yep.
That's better than anything you would implement in the gym.
Oh, absolutely.
That's like the real Rocky workout.
Oh yeah, for endurance, leg strength. You know what I'm saying? It incorporates a lot of shit.
It does. Yeah, most people are all about the anaerobic 8 to 10 repetition kind of deal.
Hold on, let me get Mars 77 on here.
Sure.
Mars 77, what's up?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
How y'all
What's
doing?
up? I'm doing good.
Oh, just getting it in.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, talk about this hokey pokey a little bit. I actually live in a housing project, and
Okay.
the people came. The people came with the nurses or whatever to give the injections. They had everybody sign up, but I think about over half the building has got the jab, right?
Right.
Or the pokey, excuse me. And I think it was like March of this year, and within 2 months, I watched people that were pretty healthy and normal turn into a bag of bones, and then I think
What?
four of them passed. Four of them passed away. Did you hear me?
What? I hear you. I hear you.
So, no, they were perfectly healthy, and I'd see them around and stuff, and they were losing tons of weight. There were ambulances coming and going, probably weekly. And I think after the second one, or even before that, because it was from March to April, we had 4 deaths.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I have not gotten it, and they came knocking on my door, trying to get me and my husband to do it. We're like, no, thank you, calling, and it's real, and I haven't worn a mask. I haven't been sick all year.
Wow.
It's
for you.
just amazing to me.
So I want to chime in on that. That's very interesting because I
Yeah.
just got my second shot,
Really?
Oh,
and I was down for the count for 30 hours on my second shot, and I haven't been sick like that for probably 3 years. But I had to get it,
yeah,
otherwise I would have lost my job.
yeah.
So
So your boss made you do that, or the company, or whatever?
yeah, and I pushed it as far as I could, but you get enough messages where they give you like a limitation, and then if you refuse, they're not allowed to
Oh my
allow
God.
you to enter.
See, this is what I tell you guys, man. You get that personal choice. I'm not going.
Oops.
That's true. That's true.
I'm not going to shit on. I'm not going to shit on. Damn. What's your name, brother?
902 rep, and my name is Andrew. Yeah.
902 up here. The sun is glaring my phone. I can't see shit.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna shut him for that. I wouldn't do it for myself, but he had to make that personal choice. And unlike the inorganics, the pro inorganics, I'm not gonna talk shit about for getting that done. You know what I'm saying?
No, me either, because it is. It's all about personal choice, freedom of choice, and all that. But
Exactly.
But then again, it wasn't choice though, right?
No, it
No,
wasn't.
they
Because-
coerced you.
Yeah, exactly. It was so. It was what we would call, I guess, it was an agreement in principle. Because if I refused, if you lose your job, that's not choice.
Right.
No, right.
But see,
So that's what it comes down to.
well, I was a registered nurse for over 27 years. And in 2017, I graduated from University of Michigan, and I was going into grad school and sat a year in there. But in the meantime, I had to take a nurse refresher course, and it asked me, are you down with denying people health care for any reason? And I was like, no, I'm not. So that's when I got out of nursing for sure. I kept trying to go back
Wow.
in it. So
Wow.
it's a choice, and I'm poor, I'm broke, but I'm healthy, and I had the best report I ever got in my life this year.
Okay, well
No
that's you're brave. You're more brave
No
than me.
hands,
Yes.
hugging
Yes.
everybody, kissing people. Who cares,
Yes.
man? I know I love you, brother. I'm not trying to cut you down at
Oh
all.
no, I love you too. I love you too because
understand.
you're more of a negotiator than me. I have no negotiation ploys.
See, that's
and
horrible.
something in regards to nurses. They were the heroes in 2020, and now they are
Not
the
in
get the
my eyes,
jab
they
or
weren't.
quit the job.
Uh-oh.
So
Wait, say,
the opinion changed
Right on.
in 1 year because of the
Exactly. But
vaccine.
see, that's how they do it.
Yeah, right,
The
right,
World War II, I
right,
can't
right.
say.
Sure.
I got to self-censor because I live in America, right? We self-censor here now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, it's of course, I don't want to be oppositional in any way, because I believe in natural immunity. I always did. I was always against pharmaceuticals for
Yes,
the most
sir.
part, but we have to somewhat consider and say, is there a lower death rate with the vaccines versus actually catching COVID?
Can I say this to you? I'm going to squash that right now. There's
Okay,
no
sure.
such thing as what they're saying. There
Okay.
are scientific steps called Coe's postulate, which identifies and isolates a certain vector. That has never been done. And I'll
Okay.
remind you
They don't
too
have
that
it.
the test is not to be used for anything but identifying if you're a human or not. And this is real science facts.
Sure.
yeah. No, she's right.
Yes.
There are certain steps to determine if something exists, right? Like a virus or something like that. And you do have to
It is,
isolate.
Chris.
So the thing with that, with the Modelo 19, they never isolated it. They never isolated it to this day.
I think that's how we can get out of this. We got to tell them, you show us this is real.
Yeah, but they can't do it.
Hey,
Right?
Sure.
So end the hoax.
I
The
tried
only-
sending you something. I
The only
tried
virus
sending you
they ever
something.
isolated-
What?
the only virus they ever isolated
Sorry.
called a bacteriophage.
I tried
That's-
sending you something in your email, right? And it's a case about this guy. I don't know if it's in Canada or somewhere else, but this guy was actually fined for not wearing a mask, and they took him to court, and he said, well, if you can, show me that this exists, I'll pay the fine, whatever. And
I ain't paying no
continued it.
fine.
The next day, I think a couple of governors showed up from different states, and they subpoenaed him, and it started some other stuff. I really tried to send this to your email. I can't remember the case, but
My
that's
email?
the way to do it, because he asked the lady, the scientist lady or whatever, like my facts are so messed up right now, to isolate it, and they said on paper that they do not have it
They don't.
on legal court documents.
They don't
That's
have
what I've been trying to send you. Yeah,
That's
they
true.
can't-
Yeah,
they
of
don't
course
have it.
they're trying to block that from him. Girl, that's good.
And when you people talk about isolation, are you referring to isolating from the other viruses or the other common flu?
This
when
is
you-
how
The
you
actual
identify something, a
Sure.
vector, a disease process.
Sure,
Like
sure.
virus. You have to remove everything from around it. You have to purify it.
Mhm.
Sure.
So
And
that
there's 4 steps.
you have to be able to only see that virus. You can't have it in a cell.
And
can't
they can't do it.
They can't do it. Haven't done it. Now those little balls they show you, they show you where they say, "Oh, this is a picture of the Modelo 19 virus coming out of a cell." That's not isolated.
No,
They're
that's
showing it-
kind of like the moon pictures.
Right.
Yeah,
But this
artist rendition.
is one thing for you guys to understand. You will never find a picture. They'll never show you a picture of a virus going into a cell, but they'll always show it coming out. When they get
So
or multiplying.
what would you attribute the reasoning for all the most exemplar scientists in the United States, Dr. Fauci, all of these scientists that were in the game for
Who
30,
told
40
you?
years?
Crisis actors,
this?
buddy.
Bought and paid for.
Dr. Fauci is
Who
not.
told
Crisis
you
actors.
he was this? The mainstream
and that could be the
news.
case. To me, it's incredible that so many of the luminaries are all they're all agreeing on the same notion, and I think that's incredible.
Oh yeah, because it's something else now, isn't it? Then
They're like they got the gang cult mentality. That's the way I see it. And they're trying to instill that in us too, like blind faith, blind trust. Trust them with our lives.
I did.
I can't do it.
I was a registered nurse for that long. I didn't believe in smoking weed, and I believed in their medications. And I got off of them and used marijuana, and I got the best health report ever. I'm living proof. It's all a hoax.
I mean, you got to know the history of the Rockefeller medicine, the petroleum medicine.
Yes.
If you know the history, man, you look, it's real easy to discern that, look, that there's an agenda, like there's a cover up. They're not giving us all the information on like natural, healthy stuff.
Yeah, I was always on board with that. I was always on board with the belief that pharmaceuticals were in cahoots with doctors, and I always knew that natural remedies were the best option. This is a little bit different from pharmaceuticals, though, because this is a virus versus
no, it's not.
Medicine.
It's a
we don't know it's a virus.
It is an RNA, DNA, CRISPR technology.
Sure, and that could be the case.
Medicine.
That could be the case. That could be the case. Yes.
902 Rapping, do you trust the government?
I don't.
So, you have no reason to believe that this is a virus. You have no reason. And even if it is a virus, right? Let's say it is a virus. How do we know it's a virus that's the problem?
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Because let me tell you about a virus that you have. Everybody has viruses in their body, right? There's a virus in your gut. It's called a bacteriophage. It stays in the lining of the mucous membrane of your gut, and it stops bacteria from breaking out of your gut and going all over your body and infecting your body, right? Because you want the bacteria to stay in your gut. So what happens is the bacteria goes into the mucous membrane and the virus kills it, right? That's the only virus that I've seen isolated. That's the only virus. I've never seen any other virus that they talk about. AIDS, HEPA, not HEPA, but
that was the same guy perpetrating it then. That was their first attempt at doing this. And it was same players.
So
and don't you guys think it's fishy that the SARS outbreak, happened in a like open market setting, and the same thing happened with the Mandela?
It's the same. It is the same. Yes.
It is a great tragedy comedy going on right now, you guys. Just remember that, please.
Absolutely.
But also, a lot of the origins of these viruses do stem from China. So it's not a coincidence that SARS and COVID would have Chinese origins, given their history.
Again, it's cognitive dissonance. That's not true. None of it is.
Right.
I've been studying this 20 years.
I don't disagree. I'm still learning about this too. Maybe I read too much CNN and Fox News.
Yes, that's narrative to us for the past 25, 30 years. So it's in our head. It's called cognitive dissonance.
Right.
They fed us all.
That's our indoctrination talking.
What?
So you don't believe that it has Chinese origins. You believe that it's possibly non-existent.
It's not real.
It's not real.
Just as they say it does.
Okay.
Right?
Hey, look, here's the thing.
Yes,
is there an ulterior motive for any of this stuff they're doing? That's what I'm always looking at. What's the ulterior motive? There's the excuse, the pretext that they tell the public, but you got to read between the lines to see if there's an ulterior motive, like a biometric ID, like infertility, like they want to reduce population, or maybe they want to reduce your intelligence.
Vaccine passports. They want to limit your participation in society if you don't go along
Control.
Control, freak, narcissist.
Well, I would say if you speak on ulterior motive, that's a very interesting one, because I would say that the only other motive that would benefit would be the decrease in population, because if you look at economy or industry or trade, all that has been diminished.
Check out the meanings of eugenics and technocracy. All you guys check out eugenics and technocracy.
Yeah, definitely.
Then follow the money.
Yeah, follow the money. That's another good rule of thumb.
Yep, absolutely.
Definitely. It's all about the money.
I mean, listen, if you're legit, you should allow yourself to be able to be questioned. And they're not allowing that really in the mainstream with us regular folks. We're not allowed to question anything, which that's a red flag that you're an abuser or manipulator.
And then they'll fake fact check it. They'll do the fake fact checking, saying it's fake fact.
In China, certainly not.
I can check my own facts, man. Look, I got a mind. I know how to read.
Really.
I got a computer. I can search engine anything too.
With science,
what I'm saying is, if you look something up, they'll make it look like it's not a real fact because they're trying to cover it up.
Right. What'd you say, Snap? We didn't hear you.
No, what I said was, with real science, you always question, right? Real science, always question. You're always looking for answers.
Real science is about questions more so than answers.
Yeah, with their science, you never question. They don't want you to question shit with their science.
So that's how it has to do.
Say that can't be real science, man. It should be like the whole scientific method and theory is based on presenting certain re-applicable question type deals.
Retest. You got to test over and over again. You got to always challenge the theory until it becomes scientific fact. It's very hard. It's very hard to establish scientific fact. It takes
because
there is no fact.
Our technology changes and it updates. So therefore, some of the old conclusions might not be full. You know, there might be more to it. As it goes on, you learn more about stuff, or you get new ways, new scientific methods, or things that help the science.
Quicker, faster. Yes, absolutely. And if it's a real study, you have to have at least 15, 20 peer-reviewed studies with names, credentials, studies, cases that they prove. You never say an expert said. That is not true.
You're right. That sounds to me like con man talk.
All this expert stuff. All the expert said this, the expert said that. No, that's not how it works.
No. It's like, where's the study? What's their name?
Yeah, right. Let me see the statistics. Let me see the evidence. Let me see the whatever. Let me see what you was looking at, how you came to these conclusions, buddy.
Oh yeah, I certainly wouldn't believe it if the title was Johnson & Johnson. I wouldn't put too much faith in it.
And Pfizer.
And Johnson & Johnson's getting caught up for cancer-causing stuff all the time right now.
Oh yeah, they're
one of the biggest with products are getting in trouble all of a sudden.
I hope you're okay, sir. I forgot your name already.
Yeah, Andrew. No, I know.
Andrew, I hope just recovering. God that what we're saying, I do, but I've been studying this way too long. But just be healthy now. Get out of the fluoride. Stop watching tell lies to your vision, please.
Right.
That's your first thing. COVID.
At least take it with a big grain of freaking salt.
Yeah.
Aspirin.
Yeah, I wanted to ride it out naturally, and I wanted to catch whatever this was that was circulating without having to take. Because I never took a vaccine for about 10 years.
What they did to you, sir.
No, they have a big leverage over people who have a career that they got to dangle over their head. Which is that's not right neither. That is really wrong. And it's like, look, this seems like they're trying to get us to voluntarily make ourselves experimentees, man. This is all experimental stuff, dude. This ain't even a regular vaccine. This is like DNA rewriting technology, man. This is like we're in uncharted freaking territory.
That's
CRISPR. And no, I mean, hey, man, this is, I mean, hey, I hoping for the best, man, but it seems like, hey, man, yeah, there's something nefarious going on with all this.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not participating.
Me either.
Hey, yeah, me neither. I mean, but I still want to keep it a open line of communication with people who might have a different viewpoint on it. You know, it's not, I'm not trying to belittle anybody or demean anybody for your medical decisions, but it's you know, it's scary. Well, we're gonna have
well,
to
it's interesting to get the perspective from you people. I'm a Canadian, so in Canada, people
we're
are
from
a lot
Michigan,
more
so like
adhering.
we're right next door to you, buddy.
Yeah, but you guys are a lot more individual, a lot more brave than the place where I'm from. We have a tendency to give in.
Yeah, hey man, you really ain't got no choice around you.
That's the best thing anybody ever said to me. I'm brave.
Well, America, nobody has swag like Americans. Courageous and the most. I mean, Canada, we copy everything you guys do. So.
I
got love for Canada, man. You know,
you're half Canadian. I mean, my grandmother was Potawatomi from Walpole Island, Canada. So we got native Canadian blood too.
Awesome.
That's my son. Christopher is my son. We both watch Snap.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah,
right,
Andrew,
Snap?
you know, yeah. You know, Andrew, you got the jab. Hopefully everything works out for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thanks. Hopefully. Thanks a lot. Yes. It was some very difficult selection, job or don't get vaccinated. So
what do you do for a living?
I was cornered.
What do you do?
Hey man, they tricked my cousin into getting a jab to get out of prison. Unfortunately, so they're using any way they can get.
They told him he couldn't come out unless he took the vaccine, and he took it.
Oh my God!
I mean, and in there they don't have access to all this information like we do. And once again, that's just another taking somebody's word for it, man. Weaseling them into a corner, and
you know
I'm hoping the best for him. He seems all right. You know, he's not a zombie.
Wait, what, Snap?
I said your cousin should sue.
Yeah, basically.
Well, I'll work on that for him. Tell him.
Right. Either way, if it can get some what's the word? Some publicity, some bad publicity, negative publicity, it might deter people from making the same decisions, these choices. That they really weren't given a real look. In order, they're supposed to give us full disclosure on stuff like this. And they're not really being forthcoming with all the information on it. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm not a lawyer, but it would seem to me that it's obvious that they're not telling everybody everything that they need to know about it.
This is against
what is it called? Informed consent. That's what we're supposed to have.
And you have
legal medical practices.
The right to refuse is one of them. What is going on here?
Yeah, that's a strange one. I will agree. In terms of legality, I think that it's abnormal to be coerced into that kind of decision and agree to disagree. People are going to have their opinions, but to have the vaccine passport and be really insinuated into such a position, that's a dangerous.
See, there you go. It's linked right into an ID system already, man. And it's just, look, we already got enough IDs in life, enough paperwork, paper trail, and they're just trying to tighten the noose and the net around us even more. I mean, I don't mind if hey, look, there's people out here, there's government, there's politics and all that, but look, I don't really, it doesn't need to overflow into every aspect of our life. We don't need someone to tell us how to tie our shoes and when to go to the bathroom and when to take a shower and when to brush your teeth. This is stuff we can handle without their help.
Absolutely.
It's getting closer in Australia.
We have got to stand up and stop the world. We're the resistance,
most of the world,
guys.
Isn't like America. Most of the world is kind of, I wouldn't say like a North Korea, but many African countries, many Islamic countries, they're.
But if they just stop participating,
yeah, no, I mean,
we
look,
all just stood still and said no more.
Look, the world's deadliest religion is basically, it's called stateism. Right. And it's basically where you see the government and the lawmakers as gods in your life.
Right.
You place government above individuality and individual rights as a status. That is the worst thing you could do.
Right.
Basically. I mean, yeah, no, in a way, dude, when you just blindly follow and accept, you're actually, look, sometimes we're enabling evil that's going on, that these people are doing. They're saying it's, oh, we're doing this on your behalf to keep you safe or whatnot. But they're really not. They're using our credit to do what they do. And then when it goes wrong, people are going to look at us like we were responsible for it.
Yeah. And
it's not even true. These decisions were made behind our backs and over our heads. They didn't even invite us. They didn't even invite us there to have a say.
They've been setting us up for this for at least since George W. Walker Herbert.
I mean, hey, that was the real president since Kennedy died, man. My humble freaking opinion.
He's what?
He was the president since Kennedy died. And all the other guys that were just, look, they were his useful idiots. Even his own son, like, he was really running that under his son's credit. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with it seemed to me, I don't know, man. That's kind of getting off topic here with that. My bad.
Well, I hope your cousin is okay. You said your cousin was released recently.
Yeah,
did you say your cousin?
Yeah, he's
but I mean, just in the sense, like Canadians, when we watch documentaries on American prisons, we have to sleep with a nightlight on.
I took corrections at U of M because I wanted to see what kind of people shoot someone running away from them. That's the kind of person I am. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, come on up here. Sorry.
Hey, man, that's Count of Monte Cristo. You're here because you're innocent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Anyway, hey, dude, my phone's freaking kind of dying, so I might have to ride out. But it was nice talking with you, Snap. Man. And Andrew.
All right, brother.
It was nice talking to you,
sir,
man.
Thank you,
Good luck to you, brother.
Thanks. Good luck to you.
Hopefully we can link up again sometime, somehow.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I'll do more open.
Yeah, man. Much love, Snap.
All right, man.
We'll talk to you soon, bro. Peace.
Right. Peace. Yeah, so Andrew, this is the thing. You were talking about Fauci.
Yes.
Being exemplary. That guy's a liar.
There was some the biggest indication of some of his fraudulency was in the email in the early stages, and his defense to that, and many of his peers' defense to that, was because it was the initial phases of COVID-19, they were learning as they go.
I mean, you could say that, but that has nothing to do with him lying about the gain of function research, right?
The gain of function is scary.
So that's
a scary research.
A liar about a lot of shit, including gain of function, right? The gain of function, funding the gain of function research at the Wuhan lab. You know what I'm saying? How he blatantly,
right,
in front of Congress, described what gain of function research is and said, that's not gain of function research. And then the email comes out proving him a liar. But Fauci is not the only liar in this situation. Everybody in government lies. The government lies by nature. That's just the nature of their existence. They wouldn't be able to hold the power they have without lying. They wouldn't have been able to go to Iraq without lying. They wouldn't have been able to go to Afghanistan and all these different places.
Would you admit, though, that people such as Fauci and people who are in the scientific community, there is a major distinction between government and scientific community?
There should be, but when the people in the science representing the scientific community goes above their station, right, and starts calling for shit like mandatory face flags, mandatory shutdowns, mandatory hokey pokeys, that's when it becomes a problem. And not only that, but you have to remember the Model State Health Emergency Powers Act, right? I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's an act that they put into law that allows health officials to determine, policy, basically, or like in an emergency,
right?
Health officials can actually act in the capacity of, like government enforcement, right? They can call for this mandate, that mandate, lockdowns, all that shit. That's what we put into place into law back in the early 2000s after 9/11, because we had that anthrax scare, and that's what prompted them, right, to want to put this into place. They could be able to control people under the auspices of dealing with a public health emergency. So that's just a way for them to implement control, and for them to say, look, these doctors, these scientists like Fauci, right, and Rachel, what's her name, the head of the CDC, they can determine how we move because we have a medical health emergency. So look, your medical expert is saying we should wear a face flag. The medical expert is saying we should be forcing hokey pokeys so that the people could be more okay with that. That's why they did that. So there's no longer a separation between government and science.
So in cases such like this, in a case like COVID or any sort of epidemic, the science community, to most extent, they come under the command of the government.
Or the government comes under command of them. More so.
Okay.
Because to a degree, Fauci is basically determining policy, right?
He is now. It's very interesting because I can't recollect another time when a science leader was constructing policy.
Yeah, but see, he's not like officially doing it. He's just giving his medical opinion and saying what people shouldn't be doing.
And they follow suit.
Mm-hmm. The government officials, the politicians, they'll say, oh, well, this expert, we said we should do this, so that's why we're doing it.
No, if you were to, I completely respect your sentiments on being opposed to the government and all of their sophistications. But if you were to place your trust in the science community versus the government, which one would you be more inclined to place your trust into?
Well, I place my trust. Hold on. God damn it. Hold on a second. I place my trust into the real science with real experts, right, that don't have an agenda.
Sure.
Because there are science, there are experts out there that even question the existence of Modelo 19 in general, right? There's one such expert whose technology they use for the test, right? The PCR test. His name is Kerry Mullis. Kerry Mullis didn't even want the PCR test to be used to give a positive or negative result of a virus, right? That's not what he wanted it for. Even he said that. And he called out Anthony Fauci for basically being a hack. So there's scientists like him. I put my trust in a scientist like him who actually has some integrity and, you know, whose opinion isn't tied to their wallet or their notoriety. You feel me?
Right. I feel you. I feel you. That's where I place my trust too, for sure. Now,
don't have a political agenda.
No, some people listening, I can already read their minds. I think their first question would be, why are there detractors in every corner of the world? If you go to Italy, if you go to China, if you go to Nigeria or Germany, you have the same frame of mind, no matter what stretch of the world you go to. So why is that the case? Why do you have all of these top tier scientists making the same claim?
Well, because it's in their best interest to do so. We have to understand, you're in Canada, right?
Yes.
You're in Canada, which is about what? How many miles away from you is LA?
LA is considerably far. It's west coast, opposite side of the ocean, and south, very far
so
south.
What, are you on the west coast of Canada or the east coast, or in the middle?
Well, actually, I'm actually located in Asia now, working, but I'm from Nova Scotia, which is east coast of Canada.
You're in Asia.
Right now, I'm working in South Korea. Yes.
In where?
South Korea.
South Korea. I was stationed in Korea when I was in the Army.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you were in Pyeongtaek, or?
I was in Tongdeshong.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm not familiar with that area. Is that north of Seoul or south of Seoul?
It's way north of Seoul. It's close to the DMZ.
Okay, so that's near Paju?
Yeah, it's like 50 miles from the DMZ.
Okay. Wow. What year was that?
2001 and 2002.
Oh my God! Wow.
But look, I don't know exactly how far South Korea away is, but it's like what, 8,000 miles or something like that.
It's far. Yeah.
Look how easily we're communicating.
Right. Oh, true. Right.
I do all these different experts from different parts of the world agree on the same shit. Look how easy it is for people who are thousands and thousands of miles away from each other to communicate.
Right.
It's simple. People act like, oh, well, the whole world has to be in on it. No. Bro. No. Just a few of the influencers, a few of the government officials that put out the same information.
Right.
It doesn't take a lot to spread a cohesive narrative. Right? That all these officials can, from all these different parts of the country and different parts of the world, can say they agree with. It's not hard at all. Even with, we're not supposed to have a good relationship with China. Look what we did. We funded the Wuhan lab. So we have some form of relationship with China. So
that's scary.
Why put it past us to have enough of a relationship with China to put out a narrative about this virus? Whatever may or may not be true about it, it's very easy. It's easy. They have ways of communicating that we'll probably never ever realize. You feel me? So
I feel you definitely.
Communicate and all that shit. It's easy. It's not hard.
But it's also it's a double-edged sword because of the mechanism of internet and the mechanism of communicating across the world. It also enables us to procure our research as well.
Yeah, and that's why we're doing it.
Exactly.
That's why people like me and others, we do the research to gather this information. You know what I mean?
So are you an active duty soldier now?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm a veteran. Oh, thank you.
Okay, because if that was the case, then you would have been feeling a lot more of a mandatory sense to get the vaccination.
Well, yeah, it's mandatory for soldiers now.
Right.
It's mandatory. You know, so I know people were thinking, well, why would we give our own troops this poison of a hokey pokey? But who's to say that they're getting the same thing we're getting? You know what I mean?
Right.
Put past the government to give the soldiers a placebo or some shit to ensure nothing bad happens to them.
Okay, so you're saying that I never thought about that, but I'm sure there would be organizations that would be of special interest and who they wouldn't want to inoculate in a negative way.
No, absolutely not. So if you wanted to make it look, we're even making our soldiers get the hokey pokey, it doesn't necessarily have to be the same cocktail. We don't know what they're giving the soldiers. You know what I mean? We know there are different companies creating these hokey pokies, but we don't know who's getting what. You know, we don't know because there's different batches and all that shit. So,
well, I think when it comes to medical science, and this is the way I always kind of saw it, there's so much that I guess you can say the civilian or the uneducated person wouldn't realize because we don't understand cancer research or we don't understand what people die of. And you know, a doctor, all they have to issue for a death is complications, died from complication. And when they say that, we just accept it because we are unbeknownst.
Right. Yeah, because we don't know. We're not the expert. But in terms of deaths from Modelo 19, they're saying that if you died with COVID, it's a COVID death. It doesn't matter if you died from it directly. It doesn't matter if you died from a comorbidity. But if you tested positive for Modelo 19 and you die, that's a Modelo 19 death. So that's all I need to know. I don't need no more than that to know that these numbers are going to definitely be inflated.
No, their argument is that the ferocity of COVID is so strong that it's perpetuating those other symptoms. If someone has heart disease, their argument is that COVID is perpetuating the heart disease. And if they didn't have COVID, they would have otherwise not died.
How do you know that? How do they know that?
Well, we don't know that, but that's their claim.
That's their claim. But they also said that the person could have died from a clear alternate cause.
Right, sure.
And if they died with COVID, it doesn't matter if it was heart disease or whatever, they're counting it as a COVID death. They said that to our face. So, okay, so let's say the heart disease, right? Anything could cause that, right? Let's say you have
a poor diet can cause that.
Obesity, right?
Yeah.
All these things. Anything could cause your death because of that. Like, you know what I mean? Just like if a common cold could kill somebody with full-blown AIDS. That's how AIDS works.
Right. Yeah. The immune system shuts down.
Yeah, well, the immune system attacks you. It's an autoimmune disease, meaning that
right.
The immune system attacks your cells.
Right.
Common cold could cause AIDS to kill you. You know what I'm saying?
But sure, and they never call that a common cold death. Yeah, they would call it succumbing to.
They say they died on AIDS.
That's right. That's right.
Just like lupus.
Very interesting.
Lupus is another autoimmune disease. By the way, if you test positive for lupus, you would also test positive for AIDS, just so you know, HIV. So there's different.
Okay.
A lot of issues with the body. There are a lot of things that you can have that can trigger a positive AIDS test, just so you know, not just AIDS.
So do you want to elaborate a little more on lupus?
Well, lupus is just an autoimmune disease, right?
Okay.
It's an autoimmune disease. It's not like HIV. It's not as debilitating, I don't think. They have treatment for it. They're both autoimmune diseases, but it attacks you in a different way. It can make you feel really sick, real tired, very little energy. It can make you lose a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? They say it came from wolves or some shit. Like at some point in history, some man had sex with a wolf or some shit. And I don't know. It's weird.
Well, that was once the rumor with AIDS, that it started in Africa through sexual contact with animals, but It was proved contrary, that it was actually from the consumption of monkey meat.
Really?
And that was their claim in later years.
Wow.
But with lupus, in terms of infectivity, do they catch it in the same way as they would catch HIV, or does it decipher in that regard?
I think it's the same type of test. I think it's like a PCR test.
Oh, but I mean, like for infectivity, like with AIDS, it's sexual contact and needle sharing. How do people contact?
I think I think you get it the same way. I'm not really sure how you can get.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that, but it's a bloodborne disease.
Bloodborne disease. Okay. If it's bloodborne, then it's probably the same
as AIDS.
Same method of infectivity.
Yeah. So it's just like I said, man. If you have these comorbidities, which they say you have to have at least 4 for Modelo 19 to really have a chance of killing you, then anything can kill you, right?
Right.
So you just have to be mindful of what you put in your body and your immune system. You got to boost your immune system. You got to have your immune system on point. And you also have to work on reversing those comorbidities if you can. Whew.
Right.
So,
well, I give major props to you for being able to be so cognitively intact with all this exercise. If I had 70 kilograms on my back, I wouldn't be doing a live stream.
Oh yeah, no, it's not 70 kilograms.
Oh, pounds. I'm in Asia. I'm always going by kilograms now.
No,
70 pounds is enough. Jesus, on an incline.
Well, see, that's why I do it, man. If I could stay somewhat sharp while doing this, with my body under this much stress and pressure, there's no limit to what my body can endure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then if you were in a classroom or if you were having a conversation at Starbucks, you'd become Einstein without having to multitask.
Well, I don't know about all that, but whew, I definitely think I can hold my own.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, when I'm exercising, I'm only exercising. I'm not gearing my attention towards a detailed interaction.
Well, see, this is why you do cadence while you're marching and running in the military.
Right.
Because there are a lot of things you're going to have to be able to do on the move. So you're gonna have to do a lot of thinking, making a lot of decisions. So singing that cadence, it also, it doesn't just build endurance and increase lung capacity. It also gets you to focus on another task while you're on the move, so that you're ready to make split decisions. And that's why.
So did you derive this lifestyle from the Army, or is this something you derived just from personal motivation?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Motivated me. Like, okay, I did this in the Army. Let me try to do this again for myself and for my own health. So I definitely, I take a lot of good from what I did in the military. I learned a lot of good shit.
Right.
A lot of good training. A lot of good knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's the perfect combination of, intellect and physical capability. Because if you look at most occupations, it's either one or the other. The Army is one of the only occupations where they implement both.
Yeah, even with the infantry, even though infantry, I was infantry and we were foot soldiers, but there's still a lot of strategic strategy. You have to implement strategy, tactics. It's not just run and gun. You actually have to know the battlefield. You have to navigate the battlefield. So it's really good. It's really good.
Right.
And I learned a lot in the military, and I never had to go to another country and kill anybody for it.
Right.
I'm really happy.
That's a bonus for sure.
I'm really happy I never had to go and kill in the name of a banker. A banker war.
Sure. So you were
I'm not sure,
you're in opposition to the wars, like the Iraq and the Afghanistan war. You're stand in opposition to those.
That was straight. A lot of good people died. A lot of good people died from both sides for that bullshit.
Sure.
And I'm not coming down on soldiers and veterans who did have to go and fight those battles. You know what I'm saying? They were manipulated just like I was.
Sure.
It just so happens I got out right before the real conflict started. So I'm pretty sure if I had a longer time, I would have been out there as well. So, although I did have three of my teammates died.
Oh my God. Brutal.
In that first week going out there. And I was actually at their memorial doing the rifle salute.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing worth like when you look at those wars. I always question because there's so much sacrifice, and they call it the quote unquote ultimate sacrifice, but I don't think that I think that their lives are more valuable than any initiative.
Oh, definitely.
Overseas, because I don't know what the initiative is. I never was able to ascertain that.
Well, because they kept changing the initiative. They kept changing it. They kept changing. Oh, well, hold on, guys. Hold on. They kept changing it from, they harbor terrorists in Afghanistan. We got to go to Iraq because Saddam Hussein, was involved. And then they changed it to weapons of war. Remember that?
Right. I remember that, yes.
Now weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. That turned out to be a lie. Then it became, we got to free the Iraqi people from dictatorship. The narrative always changed.
Right.
So really what it was about was controlling a region so that you can control the region's resources. That was a war. Whew. Oh my God. That was a war for the control of resources.
The oil resources.
Huh?
For the most part in that region, it's the oil resources, I would presume.
The oil in Afghanistan.
Right. Right.
The lithium, all that type of shit. But anyway, man, I'm gonna get off this.
All right, boss.
It's been good talking to you, man.
Thanks for all the insight.
Hey, man, no problem.
You enjoy your day.
I will. You have a good one.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the stream. A lot of different things going on. Ooh, that was a tough one today. A little warmer than last week, but I made it through. Always enjoy this, man. Especially when you're done. When you're done getting all this work in and you take that pack off. Oh my God, you take that pack off. It's like, I feel like I can float. You know what I mean? No problem, Marcy T. Thank you guys for coming up. Marcy T, Christopher Alexander, Mars 77. 802 repping, or Andrew. Thank you for coming up. Thank you guys for coming up. Definitely appreciate you guys. And I'm gonna get at y'all later, man. Probably holler at y'all tomorrow. Probably do a quick video. I don't know. Whoo. Much love. Peace out, guys.